So today we're going to be reading And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and to think what I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling me such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today?" All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked, but I kept careful track. But all I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. There's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart, and to think a story that no one can beat. When I say it, I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra's fine, but to think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast, with a cart that's so tame. The story would have been better to hear if the driver that I saw was on a charioteer. A gold and a blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, that won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer's better. He's fast and he's fleet. And he looked mighty smart down in old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute, there's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and a sled? Say, anyone can think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane can think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant, that's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size, a blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little bit more tone, have Raja with rubies perch high on a throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now I don't know, it still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he looked simply grand with a big brass band. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put it on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet all those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy of a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two, at least. But now what's worried me is Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Unless there's something I can fix it up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through where traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulberry himself in the lead. The mayor's there and he thinks it is grand. He raises his hat and they dash by the stand. The mayor's here and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And they say a story that no one can beat. When I say it, I saw it on Mulberry Street. With the roar of its motors, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. And that makes a beautiful story that's really not bad. It could be much better. I suppose that I add a Chinese man who eats with sticks, a magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. I swung around the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps. I felt simply great. For I had a story that no one can beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, "Just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on your way home from school." There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled on his chin. He frowned at me and sternly said from there in his seat, "Was there nothing to look at, no people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat?" "Nothing," I said, growing red as a beet. but just a plain horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. And that's all for today.